everyone, welcome to Gusso, a laugh and learn podcast where we discuss topics aimed to disrupt, educate, and entertain. We are your hosts, Julie, Sean, and Nadine, and we thank you for joining us on another episode.
Yes, laugh no
No,
man,
he
girl.
didn't. But we have to go cut that part out. No, we're not laughing at the part of the out. I tell the front no.
Ah,
Because I told
girl.
you at the
No,
beginning.
you see, the thing is
Because
that Sean is going to do what Sean wants to do. So if it's in,
No,
that is just Sean.
no,
Anyway,
man, no. All
that's
right.
a shame, Julie. That's a
Uh,
shame.
but it's true. You don't see my fight with.
no, una
Yeah.
fight me. Anyway,
You know what I thought? I thought today was supposed to be women who vex. I could have sworn that's what was supposed to be the topic.
No,
But you might try to divert. No.
when not
That,
vexing me
that that
upon
that
this.
is that is brother Sean for you.
Yeah, when not vexing me. Me one yourself, me can't manage two vex woman. Not a class.
You see, that's why only once a month. Hey, you see, that's why it's only once a month I'm supposed to be doing. Julie, I leave it up to you.
No
Leave
sir,
it up.
no sir.
But once a month, this girl with her fortnight visit. You know that, yeah, doctor.
Fortnight visit.
When you call me from when Julie called me from Bellevue Hospital, we know why.
Whatever.
This is actually going to release some of your tension. when you
Whatever.
talk
This is
foolishness.
therapy. This is
Yes,
therapy.
there you go.
Mm.
Hold on, don't do anything yet because I need to stop chewing. Oh my God, this is what happens to me
Why?
every evening. I just
Listen,
Some
you know,
people, this is what the show actually sound like before we kick into gear. You hear them? Come on, Panya.
Mhm.
And then she quick to tell everybody to go up and diet, but she over there eat chips.
I missed that conversation. Please
No,
expand.
it's not chips, it's almonds. Almonds mixed with
that
Cheetos,
is-
so
that is
they
not
kind
an
of cancel out each other.
That is not an almond crunch. That's a chips crunch.
Yeah,
It's almonds, man. It's almonds.
Thank you very much. Because nobody can see nothing. No, she come on and go on all nice. Well, this is actually chips. This is
Crunch, crunch,
almonds.
crunch.
You want to see? Here we go. Thank you. Thank you very much.
now you find a way to share.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that,
Yo, make sure we put this up. Seminar edit out half of that something here.
so yes, Nadine Alia's mom, you're going to be just like that. Meanwhile, Tia Maria will stay in the background.
Let me see if my thing I show alive. Look crappy.
Goodbye.
Damn.
Oh,
But Sean, you look like you're in a studio, man.
yes, you
Headphones,
do.
microphone.
Here looking like
Oh my gosh.
I'm here
Looking like professional, yes.
That's right. That's
Looking
what-
like you're on Good Morning Vietnam.
Good
Nadine.
morning, Vietnam.
Nadine, we have to step up next week. We have to step up, man.
You have to step it up, man.
I have to really get a lighting system in, so for real. Have a nice lighting, some look professional. But anyway, let me jump into the greeting. The two people that you hear laughing and carrying on, bad, threatening me and going on real bad.
Threaten. Oh, Lord.
Been dealing with this for years upon years because I'm a sister them. I just saw the thing set up. So we have two new hosts, co-hosts, whatever you want to refer to as. I don't like use co-host because all of us hosting this Gusso podcast. Nobody now nobody here. So I have my
Yes,
sister
sir.
Nadine here. And I also have my other sister from a different mother and father, Julie. How are
Hey.
you doing today?
Good, Sean. How you doing today, Nadine? Nadine.
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing, Julie?
Good.
Oh.
Good.
Can't you hear me?
The chips.
Yo, Nadine.
No, I spoke. I don't know why you guys couldn't hear me. I'm sorry. Maybe the internet's not good.
No, maybe your mouth was full of chips. That's why.
Or maybe you are on mute. Let me be the voice of reason.
No,
The
man.
voice of reason. You're on mute.
Anyway,
so Sean.
You notice I'm not on mute, so something happened there.
Sean, so what's today's topic, sir?
I don't know. Well, we discussed this earlier. We said we'll go with
All right, let's be fluid.
cross-culture dating. What, Nadine have a delay? Why you
That
keep
sounds like
cutting
a
me
good
off?
topic.
We keep cutting me off.
Yeah, it sounds like Nadine have a delay.
It sounds like I have a delay. Yes, that's why you think I didn't answer because I'm like, wait a minute, I answered.
All right, no
You guys
worries.
not
We
hear
work
me?
with it. No, man, we're good. We work with it. We're good. We're good.
All right, all right.
You heard the topic. We're going to talk about cross-culture dating. So, who here in the group have dated outside the Jamaican race? Let's just call it as it is, Jamaican race.
Wait, Jamaican race, Sean? Sean, Jamaican race?
I didn't know Jamaica had their own race now.
What? You never know.
There's DNA that ties specifically to Jamaica.
Yo, if you don't know, you're not gonna know. No, Jamaica is a different breed of people.
Well, we know that, but it's not actually
alive. Me, I tell, only check it out. We're a different breed.
But since we're going into intercultural dating, maybe if you give a quick history on where Jamaican people came from, then we could get into how they're still dating like cavemen. So
well, Jamaican
oh, you mean
came
the Jamaican
from...
men are dating like cavemen? Okay.
Yo, hey, we taking the time. Because we don't know all this, all I don't know where people come from. They all came from their mothers. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. Lord, help me with these two tonight, please.
Gosh.
Yeah, so please explain, but can you explain how Jamaica is a different race?
Oh, yo, look what the stuff them what we do. We just completely stand out from everybody else.
No, that just make us mad. That don't make us a different race.
Yo, so hold on there. What the two on that gang up on me for? Sure,
no, you started off that way, so we want to hear the details. We like to hear the details.
Me make a mistake in the introduction, and still I done me. See me own up to it, make a mistake. So carry on.
No, nobody not done you. Please turn off the phone.
Oops, my bad. I'm on the air. Lord of His mercy.
Okay, so let me rephrase.
What a day.
Yo, let me rephrase, Sean. Yeah. How many of either of you have dated outside the Jamaican culture?
Well, I have. Okay, you know, so my daughter is Vietnamese and Jamaican. Well, Jamaican Vietnamese.
So why the Jamaican have to come first?
Because I announced it.
Okay.
Pretty sure when our mother announced it, the mother
good start. We're off to a good start.
So hey, this is how we roll on a regular anyway. So Sean.
But you know, I was going to me, I think about it. And enough yard man, I got Bex. And I can't go on Bex, so no one Bex. But sometimes
why you think we're going Vex?
Because when we start to elaborate on certain things where we are fuss, but catch that on the other side. But wait. Before we go in, let me put a disclaimer. Woman or woman, no matter which race they come from, remember me tell you, that's why she a baby mother. Woman or woman.
And let me put another disclaimer, man or man, no matter what country them come
from. All right.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah,
so
now race or creed. No, some people jump up and talk about, me not dating no more black woman, or me not dating no more yard woman, and when they run up on the other side.
No more Jamaican man.
At the same idea come back with a different
exactly. But which I'm sure.
But tell me, Sean, how it was dating a Vietnamese woman different from dating Jamaican woman? You've dated Jamaican women, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm just asking. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that you do. My question will be actually applicable. So how was dating a Vietnamese woman different from dating a Jamaican woman?
Well, for one, she speaks Vietnamese and the cooking style completely different. Where Una cook one big pot or something, they cook multiple pots. So when you come down to the table,
so that's a cultural difference there.
Yeah, they give us choices. Yeah, the man, nyam this, nyam this. A joke.
Well, they do a spread.
Sean, I just had to relax, relate, and release before I decided to answer.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Thank you for taking it back before I got started. But okay, you mentioned language. So did she speak enough English that you could understand?
Yeah,
Did you speak Vietnamese or?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, mot eat. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
Was that before you met her and that's how you met and got interested, or was that after meeting her you
No, well,
learned Vietnamese?
may I tell you straight up and down, me immature, so it's looks first and then
Hold on, hold
afterwards.
on, hold on. Oh yes, it is being recorded.
Oh,
Yes,
Mm.
it's
yes,
being
it's been recorded.
Say it again.
Hell no. Move
At
on
what
to the
at what
next.
at what minute? At what minute and what second is this?
Don't worry,
Okay.
we'll be able to go back and
All
check
right.
it.
Because it's
Whatever.
been stated, verbally stated now.
Intimidation. Jesus.
Okay.
Intimidation, as if you're
Mm-mm.
intimidated.
All right, to the next. So Julie,
You
never
have
did.
owned
You never,
up.
you never
But
dated
what made
outside?
you, I guess to this question, like what made you have an interest in someone from Vietnam? Because that's a different culture, that's a
So
different country, that's
my ex that
over
caused
many
it.
seas.
My ex that caused it. Because after me and her break up, I say, yo, man, I have to give y'all the man a break. I have to give them a break.
No,
Me can't
no,
You
manage.
went all the way to Vietnam?
no,
Really?
Sean.
Really?
No.
You went all the way to Vietnam?
Sean.
You went all the way to Vietnam?
No, it's actually a friend
Really?
of mine. A friend of mine. She said, yo,
Really?
you need to meet my sister. I said, meet your sister, but you Vietnamese, so where your sister at? And then she said, Vietnam. I said, boy, I don't know that's how it works. Some strange reason
So
it
a
worked.
pen pal like back in our day
Yeah.
when we were growing up.
Yeah, we make
Oh my
use of the pen
gosh.
pal thing, you see me?
Did y'all have one of those? Because I had one, I had about, no, I had
No,
about
man,
three.
you had a whole bunch. I remember that.
I had about
crossover.
3. Yes, I had about
Man,
3.
man, I used to make fun of that. You and your pen pals.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
that's
back in the days, not to give away my age, but you actually wrote letters. It wasn't on the computer and you don't see pictures. You just keep writing letters,
Yo, you know what?
So
That's looking into the future. If you want to come up with something new, go back. Look at something that we used to do that was fun, that no longer been done, and figure a way how to make it digital. And then you're good to go.
that's true.
Dandy Shandy.
How can you
That's
make
true.
Dandy Shandy digital, make it into a video game?
Yeah.
Because
Because back in the
alright.
day, it was very important to write to people. You write to your grandmother, you write to, if she's in another country,
yeah,
you try. It was a way to expand your penmanship.
The letter. Funny.
Penmanship. Them don't even use that word again. Penmanship.
No, can we type? You see how quick we can type? Double PS. How much words per second now? Nobody know deal with pen
Yes.
anymore.
Yes.
So anyway, which one I want to dated outside of the race now back in the days?
I did.
Nadine did. You did.
I did. I mean,
What?
I think
Me,
most
Sean,
people-
I don't think so.
you don't think so? You should say
It was
yes
mostly
or no.
Jamaican. Yeah, it was mostly Jamaican or black, African American.
But
If you think
I
about
would go.
it, yeah.
I would go as far to say that African American is a different culture than Jamaican.
A little.
A little?
Now, remember, we had
Hold on, pause. Make Julie explain why. Why not a little?
and I'm going to give her my reason too.
Okay, just food, things they like to do, what they consider fun. In what I've seen, the way most of them treat parents versus the way we treat parents.
What do you mean, like them treat them parents bad or them
Not bad. It's just that, okay, I
disrespect?
can never think of calling my mother Barbara, which is her first name.
But some Jamaicans do that.
I don't know of any, I can tell you.
Yeah, some Jamaicans do that.
Yeah,
In our age group?
mother do that, yeah. She referred to
Well, that's
both
how
of
they
them.
grew up.
Yeah.
That's how they
Depends
grew
on
up.
what part of Jamaica you grew up.
Yeah, and it's usually the youngest child out of 5 children can do that because most of the time the
The
older ones
spoiled
don't
one.
do that.
Most
Yeah,
time they
yeah,
give them-
five, them
The
spoiled.
youngest one spoiled, so I'm just like, hey Barbara, when me dinner day? And the mother laugh it off and make the old one come in and say, Barbara, you know how manners.
To this day, Nadine, if you look for mommy and call her by her first name, say, hey, I'm your mother, you know.
Don't call me like that. Don't call me like that. How you call
Don't
me
call
like
me
that?
like that. It's
But
like,
you know
yo,
what?
really?
I would never even think of doing it in all
You
my
wouldn't
years.
fathom.
I
You wouldn't fathom.
I have not fathomed calling her by her first name because I know that I was taught that was disrespectful when you call your mother by her first
Yes.
name because it
Yeah.
thinks that you and she are size.
Yeah, me, I'd be wearing
Yes.
dentures right now if I did that. In my young age, me be wearing dentures because you don't lose some teeth.
A full set. No, some
A
people
full
wear a
set.
full set.
But
Mhm.
you know what though? Thinking about it when you're bringing up with the culture dating in America and so forth. I remember with the Vietnamese, she opened my eyes to a lot of things, like for example, religion. Like, I remember going with her to the temple, the pagoda. And I was
What religion
asking,
was she? What religion was she?
boy, I forget, because a little bit.
Okay.
But here's the thing: they don't. Her family don't believe in a God. They don't even know God. So it kind of opened my eyes up a whole lot. Let me start looking at things differently. Yeah, because when we went to the pagoda, I remember thinking like, all right, so if I go sit down next year, I'm gonna get offering. I'm reaching there, the whole place empty, and everything was lined along the walls inside, and you're going basically like incest, I think, at the time. And you just say a few words and you speak to your ancestors. And that was something one of the kind of like with that, because here it is, our people die, move over to the other side, and we're not trying no way to communicate with them. But there is some people that still communicate, like Africans that still communicate. That would be our next topic. It would be a topic on voodoo. Come read
Yeah,
up on
because in a
everything
lot
with
of
her.
those cultures, ancestry is your
They,
god.
Right, right,
Yes,
I
right,
don't know if it's
right.
ancestry
necessary.
is
I don't know. I
important.
don't know if I would right. I don't know if I would necessarily say it's their god, but I know
Yes,
that they consider their ancestors as extremely important because they realize that without their
exactly.
ancestors they
They
wouldn't
would
be
not be here.
They wouldn't be there, so
Right,
um
they
right.
they honor their ancestors
they
to have a good
honor their
life.
ancestors, but I don't
Yes, and
think it's
then
like
you.
godlike kind of thing, but
No,
they realize the
yeah.
importance of, hey, if it wasn't for them we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but it's
um
like me practice, like try to reach out to mama and talk to her and make sure she all right. Me know enough people when the grandmother gone and things say, yeah, when you usually say, yeah, I love my grandmother, but when last one check on her and I feel like someone can't check on her.
no man,
But in my opinion,
I talked to both of mine, especially
yeah,
my mother's mother, because I was much closer to her.
yeah, me try reach out to
Mhm.
all of
Yeah.
them. Me try reach out, me read up on stuff on it and whatever. But me notice most people them give up on that side of them, you know,
It's not really a matter of give up, but
thought.
if it's not taught and if it's
Yeah.
not emphasized how important it is to stay in touch with, because okay, even the living, right, your grandmother is in another state and whatever, and nowadays children, I find that their parents are not really emphasizing call mama now, call grandma, call granddad, whatever. If you say we're going over to grandma or granddad, you hear, oh, do we have to, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So it's
Right.
like
But hold on a
give the kids a choice now. We never had no choice.
no, But
We're
here's the
going to
thing though.
country to
Exactly.
grandma. We're going.
Them nowadays grandparents, them are teach nothing. Realistically. Them nowadays grandparents are teach nothing. Back in the
Okay,
days,
Some
boys
I
some
was teaching
take
us.
some take the role very seriously,
Yeah.
and
they
some are like, yeah, you're there.
You just there. Mm. You have to be
You
real with
know,
it
I'm gonna
sometimes.
be real, and
Because kids
my
kids keep it real. Kid, that's the one thing I love with children. Children keep it real. If
mhm.
the energy not there, they no longer there. Cause look upon we
Right, and
usually
that's true.
love go by.
That's true.
Remember me
Yeah, we
usually love go
have.
by my grandmother. Me had to take bus and go
Yeah.
there by myself.
Yes, we
Mm.
have what we call these days. I remember my cousin making reference to it as a glam ma, a glamorous
oh
ma. You
glamour,
know, they don't
yeah.
want to be called old. They don't want to be called grandmother, and they don't want you to be calling them grandma in public. And I'm like, really? So when you have those kind of people, and the grandmothers are getting younger too, it's not
Mhm.
that old grandmother people used to have back in the days that would teach you how to make bread and make cookies and make dumpling, and it's not that kind of grandmother anymore.
So
Yeah.
You know what
Nadine,
I mean?
I
So
guess
roles
you're
have changed.
so Nadine, I guess you're called mama, and Sean, you're called papa.
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 I doubt it.
Pa. Yeah.
I
Yeah, so
doubt
another
it.
thing,
No,
that
not in my house.
I found with that I think is a difference between African Americans and Jamaicans is, and I hate to say it, mindset. mindset. Um, and I part of a big part of that for African Americans is coming through how they were dealt in, and I know, Sean, this is going to be a favorite topic of yours, but their slavery experience versus ours in
Or
Jamaica.
yeah, because think about it, we still have face it with them now. We oppressed and them
Yes,
been oppressed.
however, if you look in somebody that grew up in Jamaica, if you look on Jamaica as far as, their business environment and whatever, we see more of people who look like us,
Right,
right?
right,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. And so
African
we
Mm-hmm.
take on those
Americans is
roles
like,
easily.
and even us, we come here and we're fighting for the same roles. So African Americans, I know quite a bit of them feel, and because they've told me that, man, y'all Jamaicans come up here and you think that you're the beep, and you're taking our jobs and this and that. And I've heard even Caucasians say they prefer Jamaicans because we think different,
Mm-hmm.
Right. And they're
right?
trying
Because
to, and that's not something I agree with.
we
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
constantly talk about the
I don't
man.
agree with it. I
No,
remember
I
telling
don't.
a
I don't. I
lady
don't. I
about
don't
that
agree with
too.
it. I'm just saying
Mm-mm.
what
I
I've
don't
heard
like
and
it.
been told.
Right.
And one big thing is that we don't constantly talk about the man oppressing us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in that kind of negative, always negative, say, man, we can't get ahead because of the man, or this.
Right. And and I guess what you're about to say is they're always on the lookout for somebody that's oppressing them. So in
Yeah,
other words, let's
because
say they start in a job, they're looking out to say, hey, I'm here. Is anybody going
no,
to try
but
anything? Are you going
think
to try
about
something?
think about it.
You know,
That's what they grew up with. When you think
I
back to
know,
Black
I
Age,
know. So
when
they're
the
always on
Black
the
Panther
defense because they
Party
always
came
feel
up,
like they have to defend themselves.
all of these parties came about because of that. Every day till this day, look what going today. Look what still are going. Police still are beat up black people and want to kill it.
Yes.
The white
Yes.
people them still are run around up going a Karen mode against us and still. So they're still in it. There's one
Right.
thing what me learning when I started graphics, I learned a lot teaching myself graphics. One of the things that I learned is that visual effects is more important than speech. So we sit there every day watching news, and all you see in them show is bad
Negative.
people in a
Yep.
negative light. Bad people
Negative.
achieve
Exactly.
something
Yep.
bad with the black people, whatever. So it sit on you. You really don't have to hear none. All you have to do is just look over and grab that dropping in your subconscious. So you
Right.
automatically start flex a certain way.
Right.
With us, we're different.
Right.
We walk into a bank, like I was explaining to a lady, because she was like, yo, me notice the island people are different than the black Americans here. The island blacks are different. I was explaining to her, yeah, is how we grow up and what we see. We walk into the bank and we ask for a manager. Me hear who was the one who mentioned it? I don't know if it was Richard Pryor. I think it might be Richard Pryor too. He said when he went to Africa, he was just shocked. This is a black American stepping out now out of America. And he went to the bank. He said the bank looked like Joe Frazier. I'm not saying it looked exactly like Joe Frazier. What I'm saying is the man black. It's not a white guy that was the owner of the bank and the manager of the bank. Versus here, when you come and say,
Right.
no, you step in, you see a white man and the manager. You don't know, say, shit, man, I get no loan.
They're ready to tell you no.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, got through this, you got through that.
They're
Yeah,
ready
so
to tell you no.
imagine growing up in that system, not knowing nothing. We lucky, that's why we come
Right.
over here, so we know, so that can't fly. You tell we know, where tell we know for. Look on this, look on that, look on that. Them just automatically condition. I'm not gonna say everybody is the same.
No,
way.
I
Different
mean,
people
we
is
know we're
different.
talking here,
Mhm.
and not 100% of anybody is
No.
going to be the
Yeah.
No.
same. So we know.
Because
I
I've
think that's an
seen.
assumption when we're having these
Yes.
conversations, that we're not talking about everybody,
All right.
100%
And
of
I was
everybody.
about to say that because there's so many variants, and I know education changes a lot. When people, get some education, they'll change their views on things, and they're gonna be like us in Jamaica because they're educated and they see things differently. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? They have foresight. But
Is
there's a
that
lot of things. The thing about the African American is a lot of things run deep. And I try to explain it to island people all the time. Things run deep. We're running to the beach that's, 5 minutes from here. And it's no big deal. People are sitting down where their grandmother and their great grandmother, they've told them they were never allowed on that beach. How does that
yeah.
make you feel now?
Yeah, it's
That you're going against your ancestors, running to this beach that they couldn't even go to.
Was it
Yeah,
David
but
Chappelle?
back then, as you said, it was because it was illegal for them to go to. Now that it's not illegal,
Yes,
But you still
why should you not
they
take the
go,
no,
risk
you
and
still
they
enjoy?
go, but
condition. You
but you're
still
still in your
condition.
mind.
Yeah, you
It's
still
still in your mind.
condition.
It's not that you can't go or whatever, you know, it's still in their mind that I wasn't allowed to go here. And what about people that lived in a neighborhood for the last 50 or 100 years? And you know, your Uncle Joe got hung in this tree, your
Yeah.
grandfather or somebody else got hung in that tree, and you're passing that tree every day. They never got rid of that tree.
So let me
Yeah.
ask
And
you
the
something,
stories
Nadine.
they're telling you is, oh, you know, do you know so and so got hung in that? And you're like, what? So
That's
every day
why,
you pass
and
that
that's
tree,
a part of the reason
that's
why I
what's in your
say
mind.
that's part of the reason why I say me not like Black History Month. Cause every time I watch it come into that
But you
month,
need to
them
know.
yeah.
We need to know. We need
But
to
hear me out,
educate
man.
ourselves.
Hear me out. Stop cutting me off, man. Hear me out. Because every minute them keep on a show slavery. Every minute them keep on remind you of the lynching and what used to happen at these stores. Me no hear nothing positive. Every time is a fight, is Martin Luther King, oh, I had a dream and this and no, me tired of that now. Me tired. So me not support no Black
I
History
understand,
Month.
Sean. I understand your point about, yes, it's just the same things, the same negative things that they keep showing over and over again. However, as far as education goes, you have to be educated on both the negative and the positive. And what needs to happen is more of the
So hold on
positive.
there. Have we ever tried just to educate on the positive alone and see what happened? Anybody ever did
That's
that
true.
test?
That comes in.
I
That
don't
trickles
know.
in far
Yeah,
less.
because
That does
everybody
trickle in
always
far
loves to
less than.
defend this thing, but nobody never say, all right,
It's true.
that study that
Right.
showed
So
when we did the
that's why I'm
positive,
saying
nothing came out of it.
saying
Nobody never did it.
that's why
So
I'm
me
saying
tired of see it.
that's why I'm saying we need to get the positive. But you know what? Us, right? Us three, we've heard the negative over and over because, and so after 20 years of being here or 30 years of being in this country, we know it. But remember that there are people coming up after us, behind us. So if they stop, right, then they won't be okay. It's like you have to learn what came in your past, or else history will keep repeating itself.
All right,
Will
so
So
repeat
I
good,
do.
itself.
wait,
I was
wait, wait.
about to
Hold it,
speak
hold it, hold it,
towards
Okay,
hold
that.
it,
Yes,
hold it. So what I'm
I
trying to
was
say is that I
about.
do understand that yes, all they're currently showing is negative, and they need to infuse with much more positive. But I don't agree with not educating on the negative at all.
yeah, but
Because you
don't
do
don't dwell
about it.
upon it. Nobody sit down upon it. Because here's the thing. Here's my thing where you talk about we need to educate and support. How much you want to know Mansa Musa?
No.
Same
Nope.
blasted
I'm
thing.
sorry.
Same thing.
Doesn't ring a
Nobody
bell.
knows. Nobody knows. You have to go out there research that on your own. And that's
Nope.
Definitely, I've never heard of him. So you have to educate us one of these
right.
days
So
on them.
a Forbes magazine me I read one time and they brought up this man and said, yo, if this guy today in a 2021 was still around, would be one of the richest person on earth.
What magazine were you reading, Sean?
Forbes.
Forbes. Okay.
Yeah, Forbes magazine. This
Yeah.
dude was out way before Christopher Columbus decided to travel the globe. But then still go around and still I teach you till this day, say Christopher Columbus and them crew talk about the world is not flat and they're going out. No, Africans have traveled this world way before that. Mansa Musa, when he was traveling the world, because he renounced himself and gave up the kingdom to his son, and him and the crew went out. And, they went out on caravans and then they took ships around the world. They said when he went through each town or country in Africa, the value of gold depreciated because of him. He owned a gold mine back in the days and he was just distributing gold to the people along the way.
Okay,
You hear
so
that story there? That story they not tell. But every day they don't come tell me about
okay, so
how
so
them a
that
bomb up what you call
so
it, Rosewood or whichever them
so
place the name and them thing
as
there.
I said, I agree with your statement in that much more positive
Yeah, man,
need to think.
me tired of hear about not even Django me like no more.
But
Tired of hear
but
them.
but Nadine,
What? Not even what?
Not even Django me
Django.
want to hear about. Me don't want to hear about none of them slave
But
business anymore. I want to hear
Nadine,
about the
Oh,
we being strong and
go ahead,
black.
Julie.
so what I wanted to ask you is your experience dating African American. Was it did any conflicts come up to the point where based on culture to the point where you're like, okay, I don't know how we're
No,
going to
no,
deal with
no.
this one.
Far truth, and this is what I was going to explain. See, there are different levels of Jamaicans, and there are also different hierarchies of Americans. So I was going to get into that with some Jamaicans, if you just came here and you really only have the Jamaican values and you don't know anything about what's going on in America, then you would be classified as a Jamaican. Let's say you've been here 5 years, you're kind of picking up some of the things, some of the American cultures. You probably didn't eat a 1 and 2 McDonald's twice a week or something like that. Then, you might have a little bit more American in
What are you
you.
trying to say about the Americans?
You have a little bit more American in you. You would be more American than a Jamaican that just stepped off the plane. Now,
Yeah.
somebody like myself who's
I
been
don't
here
know,
for 20
Yeah,
years.
we have to fight that one because the Jamaican.
I don't know,
the
because
Jamaican,
there's
they
some
don't them
Jamaicans,
something there.
there's some Jamaicans that are more Americans than American.
Yes,
And them
yes,
never
and
set
when
foot here.
and I hate to say, when I was in Jamaica, we had already started immersing ourselves in the American culture and didn't even know it. But some Jamaicans are like that now because they're watching only American TV and American news, and that was kind of what was going on when I was, a teenager. There, we were very Jamaican. We eat Jamaican food, this and that. But then I read a lot of Essence magazines. We had Essence magazines delivered to the house.
Yeah.
We had Ebony magazine delivered to the house, so we were fully aware of the Black culture.
Yo, but you
which
know what?
came in very useful when I moved
I'm
here.
sorry, you two had it delivered to your house. I just had to go to Tom Redcom Library because
We had it mailed. Yeah, I don't know how my mother did it, but she had subscribed. So we had those 2 magazines and a Jet magazine. So if an American talking to me about Jet magazine, hey, I've read all of them already. I've read all of them.
I tell you, Tom Redcom Library was.
Yo, you remember Tom Redcom
Hey.
Library?
It was my.
Oh, by the way,
American culture.
Jamaica State. Let me tell you, Jamaica. The magazine them come in a plastic wrap, Sometimes we get the plastic wrap gone and somebody in a post office read the magazine already before it reach the house.
Oh, God. Yo, remember Tom Redcom Library? That was an adventurous.
Oh my gosh, that was my library.
Yo, every
we did summer fun there some years. Remember, Sean? We did summer camp there some years.
Yep.
Yo, let me tell you,
when I got older, I didn't like it though.
Every crevice and corner, Tom Redcom Library, me know.
That was man, we know Tom Redcom inside out.
New world to me. We run around the whole place. All the section where the music claims at the adult library. Me done run through the whole of that already.
Yeah.
And you bad, so Sean? You bad, so? Yep.
And they have the oldest books. They have the oldest books I've ever seen. They actually smell old and they look old. But to this day, I'm in love with libraries. Like when we study and stuff, that's where I go to find peace. I go to the library. I'm in love with libraries. I find the nicest libraries around town, and I go there, and because they're nice, peaceful, quiet. You smell, you have the smell of books.
I mean,
it's just an awesome place to be.
Before COVID, was libraries still a hot place to be? Even before?
Kind of.
I know about library.
Sean knows a library that I go to all the time. I won't announce it too much because I don't want to give it away. But the library that I used to go to a lot was so nice. They literally had to kick you out. No, they weren't 24 hours. No, they literally had to kick people out like at 8 o'clock at night because people just didn't want to leave. And that library has about 6 floors. 6, yeah.
Anyway, back on the cross culture dating.
So so what I was saying now, so with the Jamaicans now, and then you have a Jamaican American that's kind of like me. I kind of still have the Jamaican culture and still have a little bit, picked up a little bit of the American culture. Because I can go to a restaurant and eat. It doesn't have to be Jamaican food. I'm still meeting people like that who say, no, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. Me only want my Jamaican food.
Sean, are you one of those? Are you one of,
okay.
You know what? And I find that happens mostly with the Jamaican men. Because they don't want to try new stuff because they know I love my chicken, I love my curry chicken, I love my jerk chicken. Why do I need? I love my fried chicken.
So why do I need to try anything else?
Why do I need to try fricassee chicken?
Exactly.
Maybe somebody.
And by the way, let me take the timestamp off of it because some people they are 30 years and still don't want to eat other people's food. And I know where they're coming from. I know where they're coming from.
Funny because Jamaican
no.
somebody else gonna eat. Remember?
I know where they're coming from though because I know where they're coming from because some of the fast foods that I thought were going to be wonderful by looking at the commercials, when I came here, the food was so nasty. I never went back to them. You wouldn't believe that I can't eat Wendy's and those places because the food don't taste good. But at the same time, I can go to the nice restaurants and eat this international cuisine of food that they have out there.
Some places
Alfredo sauce, that kind of stuff. I can eat that. I
No,
don't have to be eating Jamaican rice and peas and
if it's not
chicken every day. So
if it's not kalaloo, if it's not mackerel rundown, if it's not ackee and saltfish, brown stewed
so
chicken.
my palate bigger than that.
No. And when people when people come from Jamaica, what I find with Jamaicans, when people come from Jamaica to visit them, they say they want to go to a nice restaurant. You know what some of these Jamaicans do? They take them to a Donna's or they take them to a Dutch spot.
Well, the culture shock is too much sometimes. The culture shock is just way too much. So that is why.
Me need a culture shock. Me need a culture shock from them Donna's and whoever restaurant out there. Stop, give me glass food restaurant. Do. Give me someone who can sit down. Don't tell the Mexican them and the Italian them do it. Why Jamaican them can't give me someone to sit down nice?
Well, Sean, didn't I have this conversation with you the other day? Julie, we had a conversation. Stop talking when I started talking because I said, why we can't have no Jamaican restaurant? Because when you have a Jamaican restaurant that's classy, it have to be like dark. You can't have no light because people that bring other people up in other people in a restaurant. So if you have too much light, the first day them come there, I'm gonna turn back. Because that's our Jamaican culture. It's horrible.
Help me with these. It's horrible. Please, Lord, help me with these.
Because I remember when we had a place, one time I saw this fancy restaurant in a Jamaican fancy restaurant here in Lauderhill. And the first thing I noticed, there were booths because the booths were meant to hide people. And then the light dim. I mean, how many restaurants do you go to these days? That's so dark.
Think shoes that talk when you talk about
it's a booth.
Even think that shoes.
Oh no, booth.
A booth. Oh, I'm sorry.
Booth. They had booths, so the back of the chairs were high up. You can't tell who's sitting in them.
Because
kind of like some Chinese restaurants.
Yeah,
but at least Chinese restaurants have light. Them restaurants are dark. And even that still never make it.
It's called ambiance.
It's called romantic.
So we are more romantic than the other cultures out there.
You never know.
That's why.
Waiting, your bad man have so much woman.
That's when you can't have normal family restaurant.
Because we're romantic.
Or romantic, which one?
Don't suppose you're going to bring your mother and your children and all that stuff. That's not a family-oriented restaurant. Right there, you just cut out family. Your children them can't even sit because of them table.
But who said? Wait. But who said that their intention was to be a family restaurant? You wanted to be a family restaurant.
Obviously, it's not. No, they don't cater to family.
What was that one near the house, Nadine?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh,
which one?
Okay. Yeah.
No. I wasn't even talking about this one. The one near the house is called Memory Lane. That's one of my favorite places. I love the music and all that stuff. I mean, but it's partially club, partially restaurant.
That's the
other place that I'm talking about is on Commercial, and it's a huge space, huge space and everything. Okay. And they had the space for a restaurant, but they had to start this whole thing with the booth and the darkness and the. I'm like, now I know. I kind of something clicked in my head that's what's going on. Why we can't have proper restaurants.
Maybe you just think so.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, as you say, it's ambiance. They want people to be by themselves. They don't want to be like everybody comes in and everybody's seeing everybody else and hearing everybody else's conversation and all of that kind of stuff.
That's true. But I also want to say,
somebody ball out.
I also want to say that the restaurant business, going to a restaurant and eating with family and friends, it's not part of our culture too. That's what I think. Because I'm in a neighborhood that went from being Black American.
No, Jamaica.
I went in a neighborhood.
Waiting, Boston.
Out where?
Out
where? Tell me where?
No, man, we're going to go eat.
Where?
No, man.
As a group. Where do you guys go as a group?
As a family, I know that like at least once a week, once every other week, the entire family was going out to a restaurant.
Where? And where are you going to eat? No, are you talking about in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Are you talking about in Jamaica?
I'm talking about in Jamaica.
Okay. But for some reason, it's not happening here because
Even
my
think about it.
neighborhood is mainly island people, Jamaican and Haitians. And I'm telling you, the
Yeah,
reason why
but
restaurants don't make
you
it around
can't.
here is because it's not cultural. It's not
No, it's
part of the
not that.
culture.
It's not
When you
that.
go to
We
the
burn
restaurants
out.
around here,
No, man, the Jamaican people them burn out by the time when weekend come. Or we are work weekend. So we're not the
well, by
type
the
of people
time
burn
when I go
out.
to the restaurants, it's not Jamaican families in there, it's white families.
Yeah, because
And
guess
Yo,
for
what?
the
Guess
Chinese
what,
restaurant.
we
Nadine?
spoke
Because
about that already. Yeah,
We
man.
cook it at home. So why we are going to
But
restaurant to
No,
do?
but
it's
didn't
not
I
only
just
that.
say that? But aren't you
No,
defending
it's
what I
not.
just said
No,
then?
hold on,
Aren't
hold on,
you
hold on, man, hold on. It's not only
aren't you
that.
emphasizing what I just said?
It's that when we're done work, we're tired. We don't have time for go out there. Imagine you
So
got a restaurant and somebody
those
give
other
you
group of people,
attitude and you're there on five.
those other group of people don't work too.
No, we always talk about that. Every Saturday when you drive down the road, who you see have caravan with boat and canoe and all kind of
That's
stuff.
true. We don't get to
Yeah, who you see in a
enjoy
uniform
as
on
much as
weekend.
the other groups. That's true.
Yeah, it's
But
not all of
I
us
was
like
in a
that.
neighborhood that when we moved here, it was a lot of African Americans. The neighborhood changed, the demographics changed where it became more island people, Jamaican
Mm-hmm.
and Haitian, those group of people. And all of a sudden the restaurant started to close. Red Lobster is gone. Denny's is gone. It's
Yeah,
just
man, because
not
them the
the
racist, that's
culture.
why. Them the
Well,
racist,
yeah,
that's
I
why.
know
That's a
what you're
part of
saying,
it.
but
That's a
it's
part. That's
just
a
not a
big
part
part of
of
it.
our culture. Even though
No,
our
man, it's a
night
part of our
culture,
culture for go to
even
eat.
though our night culture, when you come from club, we move in groups too, because you remember back in the days when the whole everybody partied, they would
Mm-hmm.
leave and go to the Denny's, and that's how that Denny's made money. I don't know if they made the money in any other way, but that Denny's closed, and that
Yeah,
wasn't
because
because of racism.
they were always full staff at night time.
They were always full. The Red Lobster closed down the road. That closed.
Yeah, but see, Red Lobster go to business now. Look like them that struggle for a
Overall,
good
overall,
yen.
yeah,
They,
overall.
What
could
Red
have
Lobster
been, but
do?
you know what could have been happening though, Nadine? They could have been struggling from a long time. It's just that now the pandemic come out, so everybody business come on road.
That's
So they
true, but
could be
why is the
struggling
red
from a long
why
time.
why is a Red Lobster closing in a predominantly black neighborhood, but it still exists in
No, what
other
we're saying is
places?
that Red Lobster is closing. Red
Now
Lobster
it's
as a
closing
franchisee,
now.
as a
It's closing
franchisee.
now. This Red
But they,
Lobster around here
but
closed 20 years ago or
No,
10
but that's
years
the
ago.
thing. That's the thing. It could be that they were feeling hardship back then, and them that shut down location to keep
Have
the
you
things
seen Red
afloat.
Lobster on the weekends?
That I mean a weekend alone a cut a business.
Packed with people.
Yeah,
Packed
but
with
exactly.
people.
weekend alone now do that.
Okay, so
Some
apart
You have
from
to do it
food,
every day or
most
whatever.
restaurants depend on weekend
so apart from food,
traffic.
and the whole culture, so we know that, okay, well, not we know, but one opinion is that us Jamaicans, it's not in our culture to really go out and to go to restaurants per se.
It's not. I don't see it. No,
um
no, I don't
I,
see
I
it.
grew up I grew up on the other side where,
Yeah.
yeah, to us it is cultural, to go out
Yes,
because it's something
I
to
remember going out for like birthdays and stuff like that. We would go to a restaurant. Yes, in our Jamaican culture, but it just didn't transfer here. Maybe people aren't satisfied with the food
No,
here, like I
because we are
said.
walking rotted off just to
so
keep afloat. That's
Yeah,
why.
maybe people aren't satisfied with the culture.
okay, so
Another thing too, which I find, don't you guys notice how marriage is more important in the African American
Jamaica.
community,
No man,
African
Jamaica
American
too.
community than
Jamaica too. Back
Jamaican
home. Back
community?
home. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I
um
but
find
go on then.
African
Hold on. Let me
Americans
tell
more
you
willing
why.
to get married in their 20s, and
No,
they're
because we
just
come over
like
here,
right out
so
the gate, they're getting married. They get
because
their
we
degree and that's
that
it.
Nadine, Jesus peace, man. Make somebody cut in, man.
Go on, go on, go on, go on. Sorry, guys.
Because we
Don't
come
get
over
me
here,
started. Don't get me started now.
because we come over here, so we said there's choices. So now we kind of get a little bit stiffer from what we want. With the demands get stiffer. So what we get married for? We run around a little bit and then we lock down ourselves. So more
no,
time is
okay, so I'm going to take it from a different perspective. I'm going to take it
Take
from
it
the
from that
perspective
perspective.
of where
Yes.
we come up here. I know a lot of us came up here after high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
right.
our thing for coming up right after high school is to continue our education. It's
That's
it's
correct.
not necessarily about when you come up here that you find a husband or you find a wife. You want to get at least that first degree first before you think
That's
about
correct.
get husband and wife. Here, the not only is it that, we come from Jamaica, so 9/10 of our friends are back in Jamaica. We have to start meeting new people. Here, if you
That's
grow up
correct.
here, you already have all your friends from the second grade, whatever. So you're already immersed in your culture as an African American, right? And then
That's
their teaching
correct.
is different. Their teaching is from what I know about African Americans and their mothers and their grandmothers, especially. You go to college to get that husband. You don't go to
That's
college to get
right.
your degree.
They call it the Mrs.
Oh,
degree. Yes, after you get the
Exactly.
other degree, you work on the
I
Mrs.
first, I
degree.
As
first
a
may
as
Yes.
a
hear
as
that
a
one
as
then.
a as a as a man, a black man, you go to look for the woman, the wife that's going to help to prop you up to advance in society.
Yes, because that's
Okay,
going to be an
okay.
Okay.
amazing wife.
in
Yes.
in
Yes.
Jamaica or Jamaican culture, when we come up here, we have on our blinders to get our degree, get our education,
Yeah,
go
become
get
Dr. Arlaya.
to go become doctor or lawyer, whether to
Yeah.
go back home or to stay
Hmm.
here and make the money and send back home, or you build your life here or
And you go
whatever.
home, say, mother can
Right.
run around and say, yes, see me doctor
Right.
son,
But
yes, I
that,
liar
And
son.
you're only focused on marriage if it's going to help you get ahead, like, you need
Yeah.
paperwork of some kind. But
and
those are
that's
the ones you see, because when you hear them married early, you're like, oh, okay, now
yeah,
I know
oh,
why.
okay, yeah. So as
Yeah.
far as them being marriage oriented, it's because we were taught different
You
on
were
or
educated and raised different.
different things on different views on marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage, I
Mhm.
think here is to help you get ahead. Yeah, you love the person or
Yes,
whatever, but
yes,
make sure it's
yes,
to help you get
yes.
ahead.
It
We're
is
taught
to
we're
it's to
taught
move ahead.
we're taught in
Yes,
Jamaica marriage is for, the forever and ever. You have your children, you build a life with
right.
this person,
You make
whatever,
plans and
whatever.
you move on.
And
Yes,
you first get your education. So two educated people that can support themselves can come together and support each other. Up here, I mean, African Americans are taught you find somebody to help build, both of you help build to get to that place.
Yeah.
So to me, marriage
well, that's because a
is
lot of
different.
them too have to be out of the house by their time that they're 18. It's like a must.
Jamaica, you're
So
there,
how else are
thing
you
at
gonna
a
survive if
party.
you're not married? How else you gonna survive at age
In
18? You don't have a
Jamaica,
job, you don't have any school.
And
How
that's
else
the
are you
thing.
gonna
Jamaica.
And that's the
survive?
thing. So the culture is
Mm,
different in that, okay, well, I have to be out of the house by 18. So it's either go to college or get married.
Right.
And when
mhm.
you go to college, it's to find the man or the woman to marry that will help you get further ahead.
Right. But you do have a
It
lot of
helps
high
if you love them.
schools.
It helps if you love them. Yeah, it
You
helps
do
if you
have a
love
lot of
them.
high school sweethearts getting married. Now, did you find that in Jamaica? Let's say we
Nope.
were to remain in
Nope.
On the
Jamaica. Did
shore,
you
on the
see
shore.
people? I know
No
one
man,
and two. I do know of
yeah,
a
one and
couple,
two. I
Yeah,
know a
one and
but they
couple.
two,
got married
but
after university. They didn't get married after
Yeah.
high
after high
school.
school, that's the
You want to
thing.
get
Yeah.
killed?
Here you
No,
have a
they got
lot of
married after university.
here you have a lot of African Americans getting married, like either right out of high school or
On the jump. On the jump.
before they finish college. We're taught
Yes.
you not getting married until you get the paper.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. For some cultures. Yeah. I mean, for some homes. Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
so you
You
get
wouldn't think
you
of
get your
it. You would
degree,
not think of
you
it.
start working, whatever, but don't come to me and tell me that because I know I have a friend who she was in college, her second year of college, and she got engaged to her fiance and went home during Christmas and told mommy and daddy. What a rumpus did kick up. Cause
Really?
Marry
Because they thought that
who?
was the end of everything.
huh?
They thought that was the end of everything.
No, they
No,
didn't
them
think it
probably
was
I
the
said
end of
he's a
everything,
careless
but
boy.
no, not only that, because they've always taught her you're going to school, you're going up to the States to do school, you're not going to gallivant, this and that. You have to get your degree. Don't even think about getting married before you finish school, all of that kind of
Right.
stuff.
So
Oh,
she went to
okay.
So,
foreign to live their dream.
well, I don't know if it's necessarily their dream, but yes,
Of
you
course, I
can
feel them
say
dream. I feel them dream that.
But she
But
pretty
them
much
miss
did the
out
right
thing.
thing, getting engaged. There are some people who get they're engaged and they're doing their doctorate. So that's a long wait. That's a long
Yeah.
wait, but they stick it out together and get married afterwards.
Yeah,
But it's quite
that's
interesting.
just to show how parents in Jamaica or how Jamaicans think about marriage,
Exactly. Like
versus how African
yes, isn't
No,
Americans
that
are
it's only
taught about
interesting?
some. It's only
marriage.
That's interesting. It's true. They do think
some,
that way. It's true.
Yeah.
not all, some.
No,
Like it's a
when
ball and
it's a
chain.
majority,
Mm,
Sean.
Like
It's a
it's a ball
yeah.
and chain, right? Yeah.
what in Jamaica? Not necessarily a ball and
Right.
chain, but get your papers first. Make sure you're independent and have money flowing for yourself first before you get married.
Hmm. But
Versus let's build.
Less
but is
bill.
that necessarily true?
Me prefer the less bill, yeah. Me prefer the
But
less
is
bill.
that necessarily
Because
true?
at
We
the
don't
end of
want
the
to
day,
talk
the
about
woman still
Jamaica
a
and
try to
their
get
culture
off.
because I don't know if that's necessarily true because I've seen where people, yes, there are people that think education comes first, and then there's another set of people where that's not important. If somebody older with a lot of money come and ask them if they can marry their daughter, they're gonna say yes, whether she has a degree or not, because this person
Where
has a lot of
here?
money and they need money in the family.
We talking here or back home?
Jamaica.
Oh.
And all the
It,
different
Mm.
countries too. All the different
no man, it
countries I've
all
heard
depend.
stories like that.
Yeah. That some country
Some
have it
old man
bust,
coming to
but
you and him have money. Go on, you better go get married here. Why would you
mm,
turn it down? You better go get
Well,
married.
I think that would depend on the social economic status of the
Yes,
family.
well, it happens a lot.